Hey nerds! Sages is here and we're having to redo a video because I made some errors in the last one I didn't notice until much later. But this time I brought along a friend because I figured it would be more entertaining to have his opinion on it. Introduce yourself, sir.
What's going on, guys? I'm Ghast. Thanks for having me over, Sage. Appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. And I do apologize if the audio sounds off. There's Skype. It's we kind of going with it as it is, for now at least. But,
oh yeah, I didn't really realize that my Skype might be shit.
Oh well.
My connection is bad back in my home, but hopefully it'll work out.
You sound fine for now, but I mean, people got a little like, oh man, it doesn't sound anything like him. Like, but it's Ghast, guys. Believe me. Anyways, real quick before we start, this is going to be a retread kind of the video I did a little bit earlier, but basically, Lyn, right here, first, Archer Cavalier that we have in the entire game for Heroes, something people have requested for a while, but this kind of got, my thought juices going. That's what I call them. I think they call it thinking. I'm not sure, but still. Right now, she's a rarity. I mean, which is weird considering, but also there's a lot of other rare units out there that we can really kind of see as a possibility. I know that, I think you mentioned in a comment previously on the last video that is now gone, by the way. Just pointing that out. Unfortunately,
yeah. So, well, Mage armors were first introduced in FE4, if I remember correctly, and they were just called Barons.
Yeah, that was Genealogy of the Holy War, I believe, right?
Yeah, and that class stuck around as a Mage armor. I'm pretty sure it's in also FE5, just because they're both Super Nintendo, and it never really made a comeback until Echoes had their own Baron, but. Yeah. Those are just generals, basically.
Pretty
like
much.
Super generals.
Because, I mean, right now, in the game, we only have melee armor units. We don't really have anything that can bridge the distance, like, they move one space, they can only attack one space. So. Well,
the weird thing about Barons is that, like Mage, like the class that is a Mage armor, there aren't a lot, and I don't even think there's a playable one in FE4.
Yeah.
The closest one you could get would be Reptor, who I think was in Chapter 4 of Genealogy, and I can't remember if Arvis was one when he was a boss. I didn't even play the last chapter of FE4 yet.
Sure,
but
when everyone talks about genealogy of the Holy War, there's one thing I always hear is, one, Arvis can be the closest thing to an armor mage. That's all I ever hear when it comes to it. But
yeah. He must. I'm actually gonna check what his class is.
Yeah. Because sure, I remember looking at it, and I think it was general, but he's like in Awakening they brought him back as a sorcerer. I know that when he showed up as a unit that could be in your little safe space thing, in your
he's an Emperor class, but he's A rank in every possible weapon type. And he has Vol Flame and a Silver Blade, so he is effectively like a combination of a Baron and like a General. So
yeah.
he is effectively that.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a class, but I was also thinking about, of course, I don't think Heroes would want to like incorporate every single class, every class at the beginning, and that's sort of what I was thinking about, like Sigurd. Like why is Sigurd not in the game yet? And I'm thinking, well, they threw in like the brave heroes who have these like insane stats and skills. So like maybe they're saving like Sigurd, who's like the big boy, and he's gonna and now like the fact that we're all like acclimated to like really crazy skills that are just like so much more cooler than the fucking 1.0 skills. Like the 1.7 skills are gonna be off the chain, and like Sigurd's just gonna be a boss. He's gonna be. I mean, like he's gonna be like. Figuratively a boss, of course.
Yeah. I mean,
but like
Arvis would probably be the quote-unquote boss of a Grand Hero battle if we were gonna.
Yeah, but something tells me that they're probably gonna roll with if Sigurd is gonna be a Grand Hero, then they're gonna have Alvis be probably a red mage, is what I'm predicting, because without story spoilers, Alvis would not be Alvis wouldn't be an armor if Sigurd and Alvis are going to be like in the same place, then Albus wouldn't be an armor yet.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but like whenever people talk about genealogy of the Holy War, it's always going to be something really odd, you know? Just.
Well, it's a weird game to get into, and like it really I don't know. It's for me it's definitely one of the games that, you know, I'm mixed feelings. I feel some type of way towards that game.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people do. Honestly, I've heard weird things about it. But
yeah,
like,
it's a strange one for sure.
I mean, so, you know, several people in the comments brought this up, and I know, guys. There are flying archer units. I mentioned that briefly in the video, but I guess the closest one would be Kenshi Knights from Fates and Reina, I believe. But I don't know if we'll be seeing Kenshi Knights anytime soon.
No, I don't think so. Like, the Kenshi Knight that I would see coming in the game would be Shigude.
Yeah.
He'd be. I think he would have priority way over Reina. But I don't even know if we're ever gonna get like more Fates characters. I'm kind of like, I know it might sound crazy coming from me, but like I don't know. I think it'd be cool to get like another batch of like Fates characters.
Honestly,
like I mean with like the upcoming of warriors and stuff, like maybe they'll give some spotlight to Fates, but they'll probably just give spotlight to whatever those the OCs for that game, which I don't know, Blonde Lord the girl and Blonde Lord the boy. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. They look so weird to me. But like, you know, it's funny you mentioned Shigure, because like he's probably the only child unit that I can actually see being brought into the game because his hair doesn't change color. And if you've noticed that's something that they've avoided with almost like that. There's one reason why Odin's in the game and not Owain. It's because they didn't want to pick a hair color for him, so, you know, that would be canon. So instead, they just kind of went, okay, let's just pull in Odin, pull in Selena instead, you know? And it's just so weird. But I don't know if we'll be seeing any children characters now, but, you know, we do have supports. It could be a possibility. That would be weird.
I don't think so. I mean, the supports in this game are super, like, they're strictly just for, like, the functionality of, like, you get boosts. Like, I mean, granted, if they did do the children thing, then like, can you imagine a game with Ike and Camilla having babies?
Well, I mean,
can you imagine how broken that would be?
I mean more that the support system doesn't seem to be anything like that. We now have the reason to, you know, just have the children unit pop up in banners and things like that. So it works a lot better, I think, that way than like I saw rampant speculation with the support system was like, you know, revealed kind of. It's like, oh my god, we get to have babies, but nah. No.
I have not even like tried to do any of the support things yet. I mean, I've been really busy like outside of the internet.
Yeah. What's the internet? But yes. So
I haven't really gotten to I haven't really gotten the chance to like really invest myself in heroes as of late.
Yeah.
Also, BlueStacks is dead,
yeah,
so that's
BlueStacks
unfortunate.
Is dead, which is really, really dumb. I don't understand it.
Yeah. And like if it's dead, it's not coming back. Like like BlueStacks is toast for good. So, working on a Nintendo sanctioned setup.
Yep. And then, of course, we also have, you know, I was thinking about this because someone mentioned it as well. The merchant class from like Fates and those characters that would ride on the puppets and stuff like that. I mean, those could be mounted ninjas essentially. I don't know if that would actually happen though.
Well, that would. I mean, that again, that's something that's super.
Yeah.
I mean, if they did have that, if they did have something like that for Fates, then like maybe, just.
Maybe.
I mean, this is of course like probably an impossibility. This is definitely never gonna happen. But I can imagine if they wanted to like really go nuts with like class types, then a banner with like just unique classes to Fates, like the Mechanist, the Kenshi Knight.
Yeah.
I don't know, like those kind of really like odd classes that were like super new. That would be pretty neat.
Oh yeah, it was Mechanus. That's not. That's right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Mismarked that one. Anyways, I mean, I don't know. Between all this weird nonsense that's been going on with the Fates community at times, between someone making a bunch of commissioning art, and I'm kidding, but you know, that was a fun adventure.
Yeah, I almost want to apologize for putting you through the trouble, but I also I'm
still
so
waiting
happy
for
that
Shrek. I'm still waiting for Shrek. When is he coming? When is Bel Air, the Fresh Prince of Bel Air coming out? I need to know these things. Please tell me. I mean,
you're gonna have to wait for more information from intelligence systems.
Yep. And
They gotta get those copyrights.
yeah, I know.
They have to finalize on those.
Yeah, Shrek might be a hard one. I know. I hear DreamWorks doesn't let that, that
Yeah.
slide too
Mike
well.
Myers is part of the same union as that Lucina voice actress, so he can't actually be in the game
Well,
with the voice. So it's a really, I mean, they're trying to find a voice actor for Shrek. It's really hard.
They also have to work around the way that, when you do his, because he's going to be a grand battle hero, because he's, you enter his swamp, he gets mad, and All Star from Smash Mouth starts playing, and then you have to.
Yeah, that's the map theme.
Yep, that seems about right. But I mean, granted, this discussion's gone off track a bit, but I'm enjoying it. I mean, compared to the
Well, I mean, how many class types can you really? After the mage armor, you have bow armor, and then for bow armor, we're still talking about FE, we're still talking about SNES stuff. So, I mean, you can only go so far, and then in terms of characters who everyone wants to see, they are coming eventually.
They will. I'm sure of it. But the thing is, right now, they seem to be pretty happy with picking out characters that, eventually we're going to get some popular characters, and then we're just going to get some characters who, are semi-popular, because they want to peter it out. They don't want it, to be a constant stream of the heavy hitters. Otherwise, there's no interest in the lower guys, or the lesser known characters, I should say.
Well, it becomes a little bit less sustainable, but Heroes itself is just insanely successful. So they could probably just fuck with the fan base and just put in the 4 least popular choose your legends or whatever. Throwing Glade on a banner, and then the 3 other guys who were just ahead of him. Number 726, 725, and 4 and 3, and just throw them on a banner and just be April Fool's, bitch. They can just do that, and people are oh my god, that's so funny. Glade is he's famous now. Glade is famous for being unfamous. It's hilarious.
And they could just put in people with Kellum, and then he's just not there. I'm kidding. People get mad whenever I make that joke. But still. Oh, but considering the fact that we have 2 Ephraims right now, what even? Granted, one has Perry in there, and I don't want to even touch it. Oh, man. I don't know. Eventually, we're going to get all those types, but again, I want you guys to, put in the comments what characters you want to see and what you would like to see. We touched upon earlier that dragons don't, dragons don't have any of the fortified, the only thing that they have is fortified dragons, and that's from Ninian here, so I don't know. We'll probably see more of those when we get the chance. I don't know who would be a good dragon, though. Any good ideas there, Ghast? Any dragon unit you would prefer to see in Heroes?
Sure. I think Idun would be a really great Grand Hero battle. You already have Zephiel, and Idun is a dragon that's actually a person. I mean, there's a bunch of those, so I shouldn't say that. But Idun would be a pretty good one. Mirror from FE8. You have Ninian, maybe Ina or Nazir.
How about another version of Tiki? We already have 4 of those.
Well, I mean, the funny thing about dragons so far is that they're all they're all the dragons who were the cute little girl ones.
Yeah,
so I think a good change would actually be maybe even throwing Nazir in there.
Yeah.
Because Nazir is he's a pretty iconic character in FE9.
Yep.
And he has a big role in the story. So I think if they wanted to have a really cool dragon, they'd have Nazir and the White Dragon. That'd be pretty neat. I think maybe like Digenzia or Diga, whatever the fuck his name is. He could be a Grand Hero battle. He's like the king of the Black Dragons, which he's like a monster. He's like a legend. You can also have.
Funny thing is, now that we're talking about that, when the Choose Your Legend thing started, before the game came out, one of the odder things that were, a part of that is that like Grima was an option as a character you could vote for, and I'm just like, how would that work? But now that I think about it, you could just make him a dragon, just make him that weird hooded figure of Robin, and then like when he transforms, he's a dragon. That's about all I can think of. Granted, he's a very big dragon, but scale it down, make him a little more puny.
Yeah, there's definitely different there's a handful of dragons you could pick. I mean, they're not all like these like cute little fucking, I don't know, lolly dragons, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, granted, at least Tiki grows up a bit if you decide to go with that, but I mean, just try and say no to this little thing. Just say no to try to say no to that face. Try it. No, I'm kidding. God. I don't understand why that... Anyways. Yeah. All of them are just little lollies, because why not?
That's the way it goes in Fire Emblem.
Yep. And then eventually we're gonna get Blonde Lord and Blonde Lordess, I guess, from Warriors.
Lady. Lady.
I guess. I don't know what to call it, but yeah. I like my title better, but no. Yeah, I honestly expect those before anyone else, really. I don't know, but yeah, it's a weird conversation to really think about when it comes to all of that. But how do you think they're gonna do Laguz then, or at least any of those transforming characters? Because right now they're not available. And
how I think they're gonna do those? Well, I mean, I joked I think we've joked about this a few times, but
yeah.
There is I think they could go about it in two ways. One would be like colorless melee, like I said before, but another one could be like they could have colors, like the Beast Laguz, like Leith or Mordecai or Muarim or Ranulf could be like green. Yeah. So then they'd be weak to fire, because canonically, like, the beasts are weak to fire, and then if you had like Ulki or Tibarn or Janaf, then they would be weak to, they would be like red, so they would be weak to lightning magic. And then for the dragons, who would be, no, what was it? No, they would be weak to wind, I guess. So they'd be blue.
Yeah.
So the birds would be blue, green would be the beasts, and then those who are weak to lightning would be dragons. So they would be red. Does that make?
I mean, it
that's
makes
all the
sense.
same, right?
Yeah.
One's weak to lightning, one's weak to fire, one's weak to.
Just spread them out throughout the colors, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Match their canonical weakness to like the magic types or fucking whatever, and then you got it.
Canon is something we're so good here. We're so good at here in Heroes Land, unfortunately, but. Yeah, I can see that happening. I see it more like they're just going to add, like, the Beast Stone to every color triangle thing, and then just go from there. That way, you don't have to worry about who's where or what or why. Just stick them where they need to be, I guess. Because that's just the way I see it. People keep asking me about that, so, even though I made a video on it. Anyways. Alright, well, I mean, I don't think there's too much else to talk about. I'm still waiting for Shrek, but that's coming, guys. Just you wait. Just you wait. And a big shout out to the data mining community, who seems to think that I'm not real in their Discord, so I'm just gonna post that. You know who you are. You know who you are. I'll get rid of that. Anyways, before we go, guys, I just want to give a brief shout out to, of course, my guest Gast here. Go check out his channel. The link will be somewhere on the screen here to click. And of course, thank you again, Gast, for joining me.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Alrighty, guys. Catch you later.
Deuces.